You are watching Arsenal Productions presented by True Force Roofing. It is a matchup between the Brevard Red Eyes and the Gainsville Hogs. My name's Addison Rusko. Alongside me is Adam Mella. So glad to have you with us for this critical game. Now, Adam, these games mean a little bit more in the overall standings because there's a real scenario where Gainsville wins this game, but if the South does better than the North, it won't end up mattering. Explain the stakes that are across all of Division III rugby here today.
Yeah, so we've got a little different structure this year. We've got the teams divided into the North and the South. Those teams play interdivision games throughout the season that matter. And then in addition to that, today, Valentine's Day, there is cross-divisional games, North versus the South. The division that comes away with more wins is going to get an extra wild card seat to the playoffs. Gainesville had some problems early in the season, didn't put it together, dropped a game against FSUB, so increasing our chances of getting in the playoffs is certainly something that the Gainesville Hogs are going to be looking to do today.
But again, it is not in these teams' control solely. Yes, they can help out their side, but they will need to rely on some other teams to come through.
Absolutely. You got a pretty tough matchup against with Daytona representing the North against West Palm. That's going to be a tough one for sure. I don't know if the math is going to be in our favor, but I'll tell you, no matter what, this is one thing I've learned after playing for many, many years here with rugby is all the games don't count and all the games do count. Anytime you're out there playing rugby, it matters. You're getting better. You're putting up your 15 men against their 15 men, and the victory matters regardless.
Well, Gainesville is coming off a dominant win against Daytona 2 weeks ago. They picked up a 43-12 win over Daytona, but it is Brevard, a side that went undefeated in the regular season last year. They went 5-0. They suffered a defeat. They lost 25-24 to West Palm Beach. This is a Brevard side that is kind of battered right now, missing a lot of starters, waiting on some key guys to join the team here in a couple weeks. So a spot that Gainesville can really take advantage of and kind of beat this depleted Brevard side.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think there is some depletion. You know, there's some guys that got banged up in that West Palm game, some guys that weren't able to make it here for this game. But then the other thing, I talked to Coach Kiwi over on the other side, and he mentioned they're also trying some new players out. Their plan this season is to make a strong national push, and what they're going to need to do to make that is have a deep roster that where he could trust his guys. So some guys will be on the bench, I think, that are used to being in the starting lineup, which gives Gainesville a chance to get up early.
Brock Roper at the halfway line to get us underway here in Cocoa, Florida for game number 3 of the Division III season. It's the Gainesville Hogs and the Brevard Rugby Club. These two teams met just a couple months ago back in the Holiday Cup. Brevard came away with a dominant win.
Looks like a penalty early. It's going to give the scrum to the Red Eyes.
And that's an issue that the Red Eyes are going to want to clean up. They mentioned in that 25-24 loss to West Palm Beach that was an area they struggled in. They started the game really hot, especially the first 5 minutes, had the momentum. But then for the next 25 minutes, penalties kind of derailed them and allowed a young West Palm Beach side to kind of get going and get that momentum going for them. And it resulted in the first loss in the regular season for the Red Eyes in quite some time.
I'll look for a direct pass here to Austin Parrish. Oh, and a little bit of fanciness to Chris Vanneman. Chris Vanneman, one of those guys getting a shot here to start. Not normally a starter at scrum half, playing a pivotal position there for David Sugimoto. Oh, and Seb Corner with a great poach.
And already the miscues for the Red Eyes. And that's kind of the key to the game. But the player to watch today is Brock Roper, a player on the Red Eyes if you watch Brock Roper in the Holiday Cup, you know exactly why he was dominant in all 3 of those games. What do the Hogs need to do to shut down a guy as elusive as Roper?
Well, you know, I see the beauty of Roper here is he really gets other players involved. He elevates his supporting cast. I think what you really want to look out for here is Cleo Walker at the 12. Look for him to have some big punishing runs. And then a surprising name, but it's not surprising if you know his past, Austin Parrish. Always been a physical guy, really kind of puts it on his own. Oh, there's Austin taking the carry here.
And here is Parrish right now.
We might be in on that ball. But yeah, look for Austin Parrish to potentially elevate his game here and show us a little more than he showed us in the Holiday Cup as he's gotten more integrated with this team.
Vanderman gets it out as Roper sends it down. Dwayne Parks giving chase. It will go into touch for a Gainesville throw. And that's the thing that you talk about with Brock Roper, getting other players involved, trying it early there with that kick.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was good work by Zach Wood there to pursue and cut off those angles, but you definitely saw a whole host of Red Eyes chasing that down.
And we are coming back for a penalty. Advantage was being played, so now Roper will have a chance to send it into touch.
What a kick.
And he will.
Let's go, boys.
A wonderful job right there from Brock Roper, and it's the first time that the Hogs have an opportunity in this game, trying to improve to 2-1. Last year's Division III champions, back-to-back Division III champions.
No, I think because that was a penalty, that's going to be a Red Eyes throw in, really deep in Hogs territory. This is definitely danger to score here. Oh, a little bit of an errant throw, but Charlie Slowey.
Red Eyes were able to stay with it.
Yep, causing some havoc in that ruck.
Andriana gets it to Roper. Nice pass to Walter. Hogs defense driving them back just a little bit. It's Roper again. Sends it down. Parks is giving chase. But a nice play right there by Ben Nowak to save a try right there because it was Parks flying down the edge.
Yeah, Ben Nowak been really coming into his own as a winger this season. Typically, wing is a position where you just throw the newest guy out there, get him some run. He's furthest away from the ball, but really when you can get an actual winger that plays that position, it's a big difference maker. Ben Nowak's been that for us.
Some numbers for the Red Eyes.
Wow.
Shaking off the tackle and dotting it down.
Oh.
No, not able to.
Great work by Albin.
Red Eyes still with it. Ball is jarred loose.
I think
What
he's
a
gonna get set for
defensive.
coming in from the side here. Yeah, he kind of came in through the side on that ruck.
So the Red Eyes have a chance to go quickly.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about right there. Austin Parrish making a run. We know he can do it by himself, but they're getting that chemistry with his team, passing the ball off with an offload. That's a dangerous thing to see Austin Parrish doing, really starting to gel with the rest of his Red Eyes teammates and knock off some of that rust.
It is a throw for the Hogs. Batted down. That's a nice play by Hybrid. It's going to remain a throw for the Hogs. It will be Seb corner.
Hogs really want to get the ball, get it to their fly half, and get it the heck out of this territory. Oh, no. Oh, boy, not straight there.
A huge miscue.
This is not the area of the field you want to have things like that happen.
So it's going to be a scrum here for the Red Eyes. Vanderman will send it in.
Definitely have some new guys in that scrum. Oh, looks like an Adriana pickup coming here. Oh, and he passes it off to Roper.
Here's Roper. Getting it off to Parrish, who sends it down, and the speedy man, Darian Betts, will dun it down, and he will make the kick easier. The Red Eyes strike first at home.
So, tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called
True Force. Well, now you can.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
Brock Roper sends it right through, so a strong start for the Red Eyes. They lead 7-0. Now, the thing with the Red Eyes is they have so much speed everywhere. You've got to worry about Dwayne Parks. You've got to worry about Parrish. You've got to worry about Roper. Oh, but then there's Darian Betts as well, who is another guy that really excelled during the Holiday Cup. These guys, they just have playmakers everywhere on the field.
Absolutely, yeah. Missing Ryan West. Ryan West, someone we saw kind of show out with some fancy kicks, playing 13 for them in the 15. I apologize, in the Holiday Cup. He's actually out, so they've got an even deeper bench here. I'll just point out something because I'm hoping it's going to be a storyline for the Hogs today. On that try, Austin Parrish got absolutely leveled by Jake Williams. That's going to be a matchup we're really going to want to see today. Can Jake Williams, one of the best defensive players I've ever played with, shut down Austin Parrish, or at least start making him think about it?
Here is Roper, and a whistle as a Hog is down.
He must have known we were talking about him. There was Jake Williams again on that tackle on Roper, and it looks like Darby is down.
So the trainer will have a look at Jason Darby. 7-0 the score. A Darian Betts scored to get us going, and then Roper the conversion. Teams will head for a quick water. We'll hear a quick word from True Force Roofing as we return from the injury soon.
I really do, but I just opened this new change order that they emailed me, and I swear I don't know what half of these charges are. Also, no one's explained to me why it was necessary to replace the wood or shown me proof that they actually replaced what they're charging me for.
That is exactly why I chose True Force Roofing. If they don't document it in their customer portal, they don't charge you for it. They call it their change order guarantee. I just sat back and watched.
Fennerman gets it away. Roper the
Short
kick,
slip
but
over.
it is taken away.
Oh, there's Cleo Walker doing what Cleo does. A very solid counter rucker and poacher. Right in the middle of that ruck, slowing the ball down. Luckily, the Gainesville Hogs held him back.
Dante J got taken down quickly. Hogs trying to respond by the early score from Darian Betts.
Cleo getting in there again. Just look. Oh, boy.
Here's Nick Weston, shaking off one tackler before being brought down. They fake it to the near side. They look out to the left.
Oh, there Cleo. I think he's in on that ball. Yeah. You know, that was 3 balls he was almost there for. Oh, he called him for not rolling away on the tackle. It's important when you get in there, you've got to allow the player to play the ball, and you've got to release the tackle. Cleo getting dinged there. But look to Cleo Walker to be a source of turnovers potentially for the Red Eyes.
And it looks as if Merritt McLean is going to go for a penalty. It is to note that he did have one penalty conversion in the game against Daytona 2 weeks ago, which he did convert. So a chance here for the Gainesville Hogs to get on the board for the first time. The wind blowing towards the right. Can Merritt McLean knock it through? You see the ball push right, but it goes down. And the Gainesville Hogs have trimmed this lead It is 7-3 now. And
look for them to go quick.
when you have a guy like Merritt McLean, it's so easy to just take those penalties, but you do mention they go quick.
Savvy play.
Sam Dong able to retrieve, trying to get around Hybrid, but Hybrid's there to wrap him up.
Yeah, Hogs under a whole lot of pressure.
Hybrid just goes diving in there, trying to take possession away.
Oh, boy.
And they will. The extra effort right there from Hybrid.
Brock Roper really starting this with that quick kick. Red Eyes able to capitalize. Just a mental miscue by the Hogs to not be turning and facing your opposition.
And the mental awareness from Roper to notice that. He will send it into touch. And now at the 5-meter line for this throw as the Red Eyes are knocking on the door again. 7-3 the score. Darian Betts with the opening try. Merritt McLean just hit a pen.
Yeah, beautiful kick by Merritt. Not sure if it was Merritt McLean doing his best Brock Roper impression or Brock Roper doing his best Merritt McLean impression. But they're both phenomenal kickers.
Knocked away. Aguilera with it now. And taken away. A nice job right there from Charlie Slowey, who has had a phenomenal start to the season for the Hogs. Hogs trying to work it out of their defensive end.
Some sloppy backs play.
This pressure from the Red Eyes continues to be an issue.
Yeah, you really don't want to play hot potato when you're in a back line like that. As soon as you get that first bad pass, it's really incumbent on you to go ahead and just take the tackle and reset. When you're passing a pass from a bad position to another guy in a bad position, bad things happen. And that's what you saw here.
Roper, Parrish bobbled it, and then lost it again. That will be a knock-on, just not able to control it there for Austin Parrish. And just when it looked like the Red Eyes would extend this lead further, they are not able to capitalize. Had a throw from the 5-meter line, but a good initial press right there from the Hogs. Drove them back a little bit, forced them to just pass around a little bit, and you can get a miscue like that. That was wonderful defense there from Gainesville.
Credit again to Jake Williams. You know, I had a little talk with Jake Williams prior to the game. You know, mentioned to him that Austin Parrish, a real threat, but also a pretty emotional player. And if you can hit him well, and you can get his head in the game, you can affect his ability to perform.
Here's Calvin Jones. Roper there, setting up Zelinka.
Little 9-on-9 crime there. Oh, and Charlie's in on that ball again. Great work.
And Charlie Slowey just making impact play after impact play. Roper going to have a word with the official here.
Yeah, Albin DeCressy playing 9 for the Hogs, almost in on that ball. Got rucked off by Chris Vanneman playing 9 for the Red Eyes. But then Charlie Slowey able to take another opportunity and steal possession for the Gainesville Hogs.
So into touch it goes, and now some momentum by Gainesville. You know, they were able to slow down the momentum a little bit with that penalty kick, but then, man, it looked like the Red Eyes just, they went quick. They got a throw at the 5-meter line, but now Gainesville across the halfway line, a chance to take the lead about 15 minutes through this game. Game number 3 of the Division III season for both of these squads.
Absolutely, so important for Gainesville. You know, regardless of the finished score line, very important for Gainesville to put together a good game here and show out.
Sebastian Corner gets ready for the throw-in, lofts it up there to Weston, who dumps it perfectly to DeCressy. Now it's Allison.
What a great play there. Oh, Jordan Whitting in on that ball. Maybe a not releasing penalty? No,
they are going to call that against the Hogs, and then some extracurriculars there. Hybrid and Maximus Allison getting into it. You see Hybrid not happy about it. Now the referee having a word.
Yeah, we've seen this a couple games out of Maximus Allison. Really got to get his head in the game. Such a talented young player, but you don't want to let things like that ruin your game.
Well, in the opening match against FSUB, a 36-25 loss for the Hogs, we saw Maximus Allison get a yellow card, and that's when FSU really poured it on in the second half, really eliminated any second half comeback attempt by the Hogs.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough when you see such a talented player like that. We'll definitely be working with him to correct some of those mistakes and keep your emotions in check. Sometimes that's something you got to deal with when you bring that much passion to the game.
Marcus Aguilera gets set to throw. Weston takes it off the throw. Oh, but a knock on.
Missed opportunity.
Another missed opportunity for the Hogs. But so far, the Red Eyes have not been able to take advantage. We'll see if they're able to change their fortune here. You see Hybrid talking to Aguilera about that throw.
Yeah, Aguilera.
And Nick Weston, though, all season long, he's done such a good job to get his hands in the middle of those throws and really make an impact defensively.
Absolutely, yeah. Nick Weston, very talented jumper. Going against Hybrid, also a very talented jumper himself. There really you see the bad throw there by Marcus Aguilera. He's one of those guys coming off the bench, trying to prove that he can be a part of this championship run. Really just not making the mark there in that throw in.
Oh. Hogs lost it. Nowak able to spin and keep possession.
It's like, oh, is that Cleo Walker again? Oh, boy. In on the ball again, a turnover caused by Cleo Walker.
Oh, Roper just shoving off defenders, finally gets brought down to the ground. Now it is Hybrid. Pushing and turning the wheels.
Hogs really need to get spread here and get their defense ready.
Dante J trying to intercept it. But now here's Parrish going to the far side. It is Calvin Jones, one-on-one. Jones offloads it at the last second. It is held on to. Now it is Parrish weaving his way through. Right at the try line. Red Eyes continue to push. Trying to take a 2-score lead. Can the Hogs defense make a stand? They go quickly, they continue to push. Vanaman, now Roper. Roper kicks it. Betts on the far side, but Dante J got a nudge, and he will pick it up. And once again, the Red Eyes cannot convert.
Wow, Dante J could have ran into a little bit of playing the man there. Got lucky with a no call. He bumped Darian Betts a little bit because he lost the ball.
The Hogs will send it down, but it goes right to Calvin Jones, but Jones mishandles it.
Oh, look for a kickback from Roper here.
Exactly what happens.
Good work by Ben Nowak. Lots of guys not on side here.
Nowak tackled down right there by Brennan George. The Hogs once again withstand the pressure. Now here's Dante J. But can the Hogs create any pressure of their own? They haven't been able to so far.
Oh, Nick Adriana almost in on that ball. Good job to close up that ruck.
Here is Nick Weston.
Smartly reverses field there. Not a lot of numbers on the right.
Nearly a knock on there for the Hogs.
Yeah, Albin, been a Swiss Army knife for the Hogs. Played in the forwards and played in the back three at 15.
Well, hold on. Here's the speedy Brock Roper. But what
work.
a tackle right there by corner.
Oh, that could have been forward.
Parrish hammers down on Sam Dong.
Great tackle by Sam.
The physicality of rugby shown right there. Sam Dong took a hit, but stopped the run of Parrish. Now here's Hybrid. The one-step move. There is Hybrid, and Hybrid is gone. He is truly a one-man show. And the conversion is good from Brock Roper. So it is 14-3 now. Hybrid with the try. And now the Gainesville Hogs will need to respond. But we knew it, Adam, going into this game. Guys like Hybrid, Darian Betts, Dwayne Parks, Brock Roper, they can make plays happen in an instant. And you see there, Hybrid just went by the entire defense. It wasn't some big break or anything. He literally just hit a one-step move and was gone.
Yeah. You notice he threw that slight dummy pass to fix the defender, but he noticed the space on the inside, and the Hogs really just need to make sure that they're covering the field inside out first. I think when you have a Darian Betts out there and you have all that speed on the edge, Hogs can get a little focused on that, on stopping that edge, and that's when you see plays like that go right up the middle. You see the leadership of Charlie Slowey going in, stealing ball for a Seb corner, making quite a few great tackles.
CJ King to Dante J.
Oh, what a play.
One extra pass. Now the Hogs are on the move.
Cleo Walker in on that ruck again. He did too much there.
And so now an opportunity. They have elected to kick pens from around this area before, but it looks as if Merritt McLean will send this into touch.
Yeah.
And a chance right now for the Gainesville Hogs to really respond. You can't let this game get away from you. If the Red Eyes continue to score as they do, this game can get out of hand quick. It's imperative that the Hogs find a way to kind of elongate this game.
Absolutely. This possession right here is extremely important. You really need to see us penetrate into the end zone. Look for a quick pass to the forwards here, but then I really want to see this on the edge with your Jake Williams, with your Ben Nowak, those guys having a nose for the end zone, getting us in there.
Trying to push in.
Carry to CJ King.
Good push from Allison.
Oh, great
and
work.
King will dot it down.
King done an excellent job filling in for our team captain, Montrell Harrington. Just been a great threat there running the ball.
Well, right on cue, the Gainesville Hogs do respond. And Adam, it really feels like we've got a great game on our hands right now. Back and forth we go. High scoring affair so far. And at about the 25-minute mark, 14-8 the score.
Yeah, we needed that score, absolutely. That was a very important moment for us. I wasn't sure the Fords were going to get in, but then I didn't realize that we had CJ King taking the lead on that pod.
McLean got it to go. So the conversion is good, and conversions were a big problem for the Gainesville Hogs in that opening game against Florida State. They did not hit any, or they hit one, but that's it. And you go back to the 5 that they did miss. They lost by 11. Even you just hit a couple of those the chances of a comeback are just so much more.
Look, Brock Roper, again, leading the troops, going quick.
But this time, Gainesville's ready.
Absolutely.
You saw this time, instead of all running back after the kick, they got set before as we are back underway.
Oh, boy.
They let it bounce. Sam Dong just keeps it in.
Not a great choice to pass that back in. Oh, no. He may have stepped out.
So the Gainesville Hogs squander a
He's calling forward pass.
Again, and it did look like it could have been a forward pass, but again, a chance for the Red Eyes at the 5-meter line. It's continuous miscues from the Hogs that are allowing the Red Eyes so much position. Here is Austin Lolo getting ready to throw it in for the Red Eyes as they look to try and get their 3rd try of the game.
Yeah,
Or, excuse me, it is going to be a scrum.
Oh, he's going to give him a scrum. Okay. So lots of new players in that Red Eye scrum. Not their normal starting 8. Scrum, something that the Gainesville Hogs really pride themselves on. Look for the Red Eyes to try and push this scrum and win back possession.
Here is Roper. Has speed, goes right towards the middle. He will dun it down for the try. You see the explosiveness, and there's Roper's first of the game.
Yeah, tough. He just had the step on Merritt. McLean. Merritt wasn't able to get to him.
3 tries in the game so far for the Red Eyes. We'll hear a quick word from True Force Roofing as Brock Roper looks to make it 21-10.
Respect for your home goes beyond. So, tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called True Force.
Well, now you can.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
So, tell us.
Welcome back on in. Addison Rusko and Adam Mello with you here for the Brevard Red Eyes and the Gainesville Hogs. What do the Hogs need to change defensively right now to try and slow this Red Eyes offense down?
Yeah, I think the Hogs are doing a great job. There really haven't been a lot of consistent line breaks. It's really just a matter of not allowing the Red Eyes to capitalize on those field position opportunities that they've gotten from Brock Roper's foot. Oh, great work there.
Charlie Slowey again in the middle of it all.
Yeah, you've got Gavin here reffing today, a player that I actually played with back in Boca Raton. A great ref. It's always the guys that are former players that have played for a long time and then choose to do the professional reffing that tend to be your best folks. They know all the tricks.
So a throw here for the Hogs. Looks as if possibly Jason Darby is coming off the pitch. Sebastian Corner will throw it in. Weston unable to retrieve it. Ball is loose and bouncing around. Albin DeCressy able to pick it up and keep possession for the Hogs. Approaching the 30-minute mark, Red Eyes with the 21-10 lead at home, trying to improve to 2-1 on the season. Both of these squads at 1-1.
Pick and goes, allowing Albin to get out here. Now Albin's going to move it to the backs.
McLean.
Great pressure. Oh, and a stiff arm of Adriana. Looks like
The Hogs lost it again. Roper fakes the pass, gets tackled down quickly.
Oh, critical penalty. Let's see where this goes. Oh, He's going, look, Hybrid going quick.
Hybrid just goes to one touch, but the official will.
Looks like he wants a scrum down.
Yes, he will go for the scrum, and Hybrid not happy about that. Hybrid's got a lot of speed, and he had a lot of room up that near side to try and do some damage. We've already seen him do damage with his one try of the game so far, which extended the lead to 14-3 at the time.
Absolutely. Very savvy player, been playing for a very long time. Done it in the forwards recently, but spent a lot of his time in the backs. So he's got those ball skills, he's got that speed.
They send it down to Roper, who will send it clear. Sam Dong giving chase, and it goes out into touch. Brock Roper has done it again. There's a couple times tonight that Sam Dong has been kind of just caught behind the ball on those kicks.
Yeah, very important when you're playing against a kicker like this, that you favor the kick. It's always easier to run up on a kick than it is to be heading backwards trying to chase it down. And on these fields that we play on in Florida, they're always not perfect, so you never want to let that ball hit the ground because you never know which way it's going to bounce.
It will still be a line out for the Hogs. Nice job by Weston. Now it's CJ King.
Yeah, Nick Weston employing a quick call there, trying to beat the setup defense of Brevard by not giving them time to properly give a counter jump. Oh, he goes a little deeper. Great work. Jared with a run here. Someone needs to get on him.
Able to keep possession. Here's Weston. Has Sam Dong. Now Dong up the edge. Cuts through, gets around Vanneman, but then is taken down to the ground hard.
Looks like he got hit in the face by Parrish at the end of that.
Parrish and Dong have been battling it out today. Here's McLean, fakes the pass, trying to get around, cannot.
Oh, Adriana in on that ball. Jared Barkley moves him off, luckily.
Adriana has been so effective today. Oh, Nowak sends someone to the ground.
Wow.
What a move, and the Hogs are on the roll. Now it's Dante J.
Throwing the ball around a little willy-nilly here.
Great job, back line.
Wow, Ben Nowak giving Darian a taste of his own medicine with that juke.
And we'll see what they elect to do here.
I was mentioning earlier, Ben Nowak been putting in some great minutes at winger for us. Now getting a chance to play 15, fullback.
So once again, the Hogs are going to go for a pen. On the season, Merritt McLean, 2 for 2 in opportunities like this. Already has one of them today.
Wind's starting to pick up a little bit since the start of the game here.
Still blowing towards the right, and you saw the wind move the ball on the last conversion. Can McLean knock it down? Yes, he can.
Work.
The lead has been trimmed to 8. 21-13 the score. And a nice job right there from Merritt McLean, 2 for 2 on those pens. Gainesville kind of hanging around. We're around 5 minutes away from the halftime break, approaching the 35th minute mark. Want to thank our sponsor, True Force Roofing, for making these streams possible here on Arsenal Productions.
Yeah, tough having the headset on. I wanted to yell at the Gainesville Hogs. A couple of them were not looking again. Potentially another quick opportunity for Brock Roper there.
But they're not able to convert now. Here's Allison.
Oh, lots of space on the edge, but can Cleo Walker mess that up? Looks like they're going to go ahead and give the penalty to Merritt signaling for his team. Zip it. No talking to the ref. no talking to the other team.
And this has been a chippy game. We've seen some hard hits so far today, but that's just the natural game of rugby, but it's been a lot.
Yeah, you know, this is these two teams, there's a lot of connection here. You know, Peter, our coach, me as our board president, there's quite a few guys that have played both for Brevard and for Gainsville. So it's really a brotherhood team here, but no one wants to be the little brother. Everyone wants to be the big brother putting the beating on the other one. So.
Well, so far it has been a tightly contested battle.
Absolutely.
21-13 the score as we approach halftime.
Yeah, really, Cleo Walker, first time I've seen him play this season, making his impact on the game here. Every time a ruck has been over in his area, he's been messing it up.
Sending it down, trying to get it into touch.
I think it's straight out there. I think it's going to go back.
It is straight out. Or is it not?
Well, it's the ref's call. Oh, and he's going to look to his line judge. He believes it did bounce in. Oh, no, he's going to go back. Never mind.
And you can see Roper going quickly, trying to catch the Hogs off guard again.
Oh, almost did. Almost did.
You can tell a player like Brock Roper is so alert at all times. He always understands the situation of the game, and so many times today, it has been to the advantage of the Red Eyes. Poor throw. Once again, the Hogs take it away. That's the second time as Allison has it, but is thrown to the ground.
Aguilera struggling. I believe Matthew McKnight is their normal hooker. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a change at halftime.
Matthew McKnight, one of the substitutes, wearing the number 16 today if we see him.
Yeah, I was talking with Kiwi before the game, and he informed me actually they got a new hooker coming in from New Zealand. Brock Roper's father still coaching rugby over in the country of New Zealand, and they're going to have a couple imports coming over. They'll have about 5 new players starting next week, one of which is a talented hooker. So look to that to be the rich get richer, further surge of talent coming to the Red Eyes from that island of New Zealand, where rugby is really a way of life.
That's really, like you just said, it is the way of life. I was able to go in the New Zealand airport last March, and all you see is rugby. It's rugby stores all throughout the airport. Here's Darian Betts, already has one try. So much speed. Darian Betts slides to the ground, and he dots it down. Darian Betts has done it again. The Red Eyes have their 4th try of the half.
Yeah, that's a tough missed tackle by Zach Wood. Just hard to tackle Darian Betts in space. He gives him the quick dip inside and makes it outside for the score.
That was right before halftime as well. 26-13. This is an important kick here from Brock Roper. The difference between a 2-score game and a 3-score game is in the hands of this kick.
Very difficult kick all the way in the corner there for Brock Roper.
We'll see if Roper can knock it down. There have been no missed conversions to this point in the game.
Yeah, two of the best kickers in the state here operating at a very high level.
Roper pushes it left and cannot get it to go. So the score will remain 26-13. We'll hear a quick word from True Force Roofing.
It's your home. You should know what's happening with it. That's why TrueForce gives you text alerts on permits, materials, and scheduling, so you're always in control of the process. Your roof, your timeline, your peace of mind. Call 352-NEW-ROOF or visit TrueForceRoofing.com.
And we are back to action as Hybrid returns the kickoff. Knocked away by Slowey. This will be coming back though. And do the Red Eyes have one more score in them before the break? 4 tries today, 2 from Darian Betts, 1 from Brock Roper.
Looks like we had a substitution there. Mitchell Kane in for Nick Camuccio. Mitchell Kane, a big body, hard runner. Hopefully going to give a little spark here.
A line out here for the Red Eyes. Over the 40-minute mark in half number 1.
And credit to the Hogs. This has been a very back and forth game. Hogs really turning it up after what was a tough loss early in the season. And there's that man I was talking about, Mitchell Kane, with a big punishing run.
McLean to Dante J, now Allison.
Stopped in his tracks there.
Bobbled but got back.
Ooh, good kick.
McLean sent it down, but...
And he hit the kicker, I believe, so he's going to give him a penalty there.
So maybe one more chance here for Gainesville. Chance to send it into touch and generate some momentum going into halftime. If you're able to get a try and a conversion, all of a sudden, even though it feels like Brevard has been the better team, which they have been so far, you would only go into halftime down by 6, which is a spot that I think most Hogs fans would be content with going into halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Merritt's going to just kick it out of bounds there to take us to halftime. I'll say here, the Hogs, the moments that they've had success, it hasn't been out of desperation. And that's where I'm really proud of those boys. They've been able to keep within our system and play smart rugby and still drive the ball down and keep this scoreline close. So look for them to build on that momentum. If the Red Eyes do start to feel a little bit of pressure, you potentially are going to see some of these substitutions, guys that are normal starters there, coming into that lineup with fresh legs, potentially going to give Red Eyes another surge of energy to kind of increase that lead.
Well, it is the Red Eyes with the 26-13 lead at the break. Darian Betts has 2 tries, Hybrid with 1, and Brock Roper with 1. The Hogs will try and have a second half comeback, but right now, it's the Red Eyes on pace to improve to 2-1 on the season. Well, welcome back on in. Half number 2 about to get set to go. It is Merritt McLean to get us going. 26-13 the score. A high-flying first half and a late try by Darian Betts to extend this Hogs lead as we are underway in half number 2. Addison Resco and Anna Mella with you on the call as the Brevard Red Eyes look to extend to 2-1 on the season. They're up by 13. What do the Hogs have to do to get back into this game?
Yeah, I think it's really important that the Hogs, I talked to them a little bit at halftime. It's important that they just keep their head here. Don't go into hero ball. All the good things you've seen out of the Hogs so far have been just playing within the system. Oh, and Charlie Slowey there.
Just does it again.
Making another poach here.
And now the Hogs are set up in a very favorable position. Let's see if they can take advantage.
Yeah, there are some differences here. The Red Eyes put in some of those players that are normally starters for them coming off the bench. You see, as expected, the hooker has been switched out for Matthew McKnight. A couple of bad throw-ins so far from Marcus Aguilera earlier in the day. They did pull in Edwin Escala as well at winger. Edwin Escala, good for about 2. There he is on the tackle. Oh, and another tackle.
Well, how about that?
Already making his presence known.
Escola, who scored 2 tries last week in the loss against West Palm Beach, and a knock on right there from Dante J. So a missed opportunity after the really good defensive play right there from Charlie Slowey. Man, Charlie Slowey on the defensive side of the ball has done such a great job getting his hands in there, creating havoc in rucks.
Absolutely. It's that foreign experience. Charlie Slowey, an Irish-born player. I was talking to him a little bit about why he came to Gainesville. He said when he was doing his residency and looking for a final home, he said, one requirement, there must be a rugby team where I go. And he saw that there had been a rugby team in Gainesville, so he said, okay, I'll accept it. So rugby, a big part of Charlie Slowey's life. Oh, and a kick.
He's a big part of this team as well.
Straight out.
It goes straight out, so.
Gonna go back from the position of the kick here. Not a great play by Austin Parrish. I think getting a little excited. You see a smile on Austin's face and Brock Roper's face. I think Brock Roper's telling him, hey, let's leave the kicking to me, buddy.
Brock Roper has every right to say that.
Absolutely.
One of the better kickers in the state of Florida, but now a chance for the Hogs. Sebastian Corner gets set to throw this line out. Hogs have been really good on the line out compared to Brevard today.
Yeah, but I mean, look, that throw-in, so critical. As you see a beautiful kick from throw-in from Seb Corner.
King wrapped down. Hogs trying to set up and make this a one-score game again.
Oh boy, that might have been offsides there by Austin Parrish.
Very close.
He's let him get away with it. Albin DeCressy, not a normal scrum half, kind of a jack of all trades there. Not doing your traditional scrum half pass where you pass it off the ground. He's picking it up before he passes it, which allows the Red Eyes to get a little run in.
Here's Allison.
No, and then he's driven out of bounds.
Right out, right towards us.
Edwin again.
And some extra pushing and shoving. Allison and Escola. Some extracurriculars off the field. The officials are talking. You can feel the presence that Escola brings.
Yeah, he's definitely got a fire. Edwin, and then much better throw there from Matthew here for the Red Eyes.
Dwayne Parks. Oh, across the halfway line before he gets taken down.
Starting to get a little chippy.
It has gotten really chippery over the last couple of minutes.
Oh boy. There's a lot of width there.
Hybrid, a poor pass, sends Escola back. Nobody onside. Escola nearly dragged out. And then throws Jake Williams away. Or
Yeah, that
excuse me,
could have
was Zach
been-
Wood.
Could have been very, very bad there. That could have been an easy try.
Here is Matthew McKnight,
Jared Barkley almost in on the ball.
the normal number 2 for this Red Eyes squad, but Aguilera got the start today. Now here is Roper. Shifts away from one, got away from another, just spinning and weaving around this Hogs defense. Finally brought to the ground. Red Eyes trying to work it the other way. Sarachek.
Oh, Jared Barkley able to disrupt that ball. Got his hands in on it.
And the Hogs take it away. But a
CJ
whistle
bobbled that, I
and a
think.
knock on.
Boy, good work, Jared Barkley. He was in there on a couple of balls and was kind of brushed off there. He was actually able to get hands on the ball and pull it out. Jared Barkley is a transfer. We actually acquired, Gainesville Hogs acquired Jared Barkley and Merritt McLean several years ago when the Ocala rugby team folded. Chris Gunny Orr, another Ocala transfer. We were very happy to integrate those guys into our squad. Now they've become true Gainesville Hogs here.
The Hogs are going to need them to play at a high level if they want to come back in this game. This has been a high energy first 7 minutes of the second half. Multiple times you've seen Edwin Escola battling on the edge. Players getting dragged out of play, thrown. Some fans got in talking to some. How do you reset as a player, right? You saw Maximus Allison give a little push. Today and in the past, we've seen his temper and we've seen his emotions really rise. It's something we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
How do you control that in a game where you're down and those frustrations are bound and natural to happen?
It's really tough. I mean, I grabbed him and pulled him aside during the half, and I just told him, listen, we need you, Maximus. You are a very talented player. You make an impact on the game, and you already are making an impact on the game. But if you can't keep your emotions and we go down with a yellow card, it's going to be really hard to keep that going in this game. A little bit of misdirection there, and Brock Roper's able to take advantage.
Still going.
Looks like it was a knock on maybe when he was trying to drop it off.
It will be a line out for the Hogs.
Yeah.
Man, Roper again starts the break, was trying to find Darian Betts, almost had that hat trick,
Absolutely.
but not able to secure it. So a line out here for the Hogs as they look to tread out of the deep waters of defense right now.
Yeah, we talked about Matthew coming in at cleaning up those hooker throw-ins. We talked about Edwin doing some cool things on the wing there. We didn't talk about David Sugimoto coming in at scrum half. That's another big boon for this Red Eyes team and their ability to go quickly and take advantage of space on the field. Having Chris Vanneman in there, Chris Vanneman has been playing rugby for quite a long time. Actually served in the military with the brother of Peter Zimrakis, our coach, but hasn't traditionally been a scrum half, so things are a little bit slower when you've got a guy like that in there. Now that David Sugimoto's in there, they can go fast.
The Hogs gave it away, and now here are the Red Eyes. Can they add one more to their total? Dwayne Parks with it, gets taken down quickly.
Lots of space on the outside there.
Roper to Parrish, shaking off tacklers, dumping it off. It's Roper, one more to Escola, but it is sent high and out into touch. A missed opportunity because Edwin Escola was right there for the try otherwise.
Absolutely. I was talking a little bit about that choice to put Edwin on the bench. Edwin, longtime player, played in Daytona, with Brock Roper, with Austin Parrish. Been playing a long time, but a little bit of a wild card. Hasn't made it to practice as much as Coach would like to see him at practice. And he tends to do a lot of awesome things, but then also has an opportunity to make some critical mistakes. So really important to kind of hone things in here.
Well, we've seen his aggressive play style already here.
Absolutely.
It's a scrum for the Hogs as once again they're trying to get out of their own back half.
Been on the positive side of that.
Oh, here he is now, Escola.
Smartly moves it to the middle.
Now Parks.
Talking about some of the changes here that were made for Gainesville. So you've got Ray Chalk in at winger. Ray Chalk, a very talented player, ton of speed, not a ton of a rugby experience, but the athleticism to keep up with a Darius. So the hope here is for the Gainesville Hogs that having a Ray Chalk in there can match that athleticism and shut down that Darius, who has made several tries here today.
A penalty was called against the Red Eyes. Still scoreless in half number 2, 26-13 remains the score. A late try by the man with the ball, Darian Betts, extended this lead right before the break. And here he is now, already with 2 tries, just bursting through the middle before being taken down.
Great quick ball by David Sugimoto.
Here's McKnight. They flip sides to Roper. Oh, what a move that was. Right at about the 22-meter line, getting back up and dragging closer to the try line. Roper again with it.
Oh, and there's
Ray! Intercepted!
Go, Ray! Oh, he better put his head down and run. Looks like Dwayne Parks has a line on him.
Ray Chalk cuts up and he is gone! Ray Chalk goes the distance, and the Hogs have flipped this game upside down.
Ray Chalk just shrugging off Austin Parrish, not wanting to let him get the easy try. Wow.
How about that from the Gainesville Hogs? It is Ray Chalk. Goes the distance. It looked like Darian Betts might have had his third. Instead, we're a conversion away from having ourselves a one-try game.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's exactly what Coach Pete Zimmerakos was thinking when he put Ray Chalk in there, matching that athleticism, and Ray Chalk goes and takes one for himself.
It is not every day that you see a play like that happen, but a game that has, or a play that has turned this game on its head.
Yeah, Ray Chalk actually, so played for the Hogs a couple years ago. Always been a great player when I played with him. He spent a short stint in the No Pads Football League that you might have seen for probably about a week or two here. The real question, I think, you see his hands on his hips. Can he keep up with his cardio with that type of explosive play? So we'll see if that keeps up. Hopefully that is not a reality for us and that he's kept in good cardio shape here.
So Brock Roper gets set to send it back to Gainesville, who has made it a 6-point game. Weston secures it off the kickoff.
Gonna kick it down here, I think. Oh, and they throw it.
Nowak able to retrieve it and makes a nice move to get around the defender, but take it down by Sugimoto.
David Sugimoto actually played 15 for quite a few years at fullback, famous for just sticking his head in, making every tackle regardless of the size of the defender.
McKnight.
Derek Asparelli, another second half player.
Roper taken down. Hogs trying to get in there again and take possession away, but the Red Eyes remain with it.
Weston almost in there.
Now George.
Stopped by Christian Zelenka.
Hybrid. Parrish. He's got a lot of strength. Oh, got it away just in time to Walter.
Great tackle by Dante J.
55 minutes played.
Dante J, a bigger player, not always making those form tackles, but we saw in the Nakamura Cup just a couple months ago, when he commits to making form tackles, he's a very scary defender.
Bet slips. And the Hogs making a push, trying to take back possession. But a penalty called. You see Roper going quickly. He will, but gets taken down quickly. But it appears that they are going to make him come back.
Hopefully Ray Chalk doesn't get a yellow card for this. Gavin having a talk with him.
It does not appear that a yellow card will come out. And how detrimental would that be to a possible Hogs comeback?
Oh, critical there. He's going to go have a chat.
Now having a chat. And what a turn this would be for Ray Chalk if this is indeed a yellow. It is not. So the Hogs survive a scare.
Yeah, that was very messy ruck play there. I'm not sure if Ray Chalk was involved in some of that either, resulting in the penalty.
And they keep it in.
No, I think he's going to call it out.
Or they will call it out. Man, that would have been a rare miscue from Brock Roper on a kick, but a line out here for the Hogs at the 5-meter line as they look to obtain a larger lead yet again. Here is Roper.
Executed so well.
Got it off to Walter. Walter, one more back to Roper, who tries to weave around the defense. Taken down. Hybrid already has one try. They tried to go quickly, could not dot it down. Walter going quick, but a good push from this Hogs defense. Roper fakes the pass.
Oh, and Zach Wood pulls it away. Oh, he's going to go back to the penalty here.
They are going back to the penalty. Man, nearly another disaster.
Great work by Charlie Slowey and then Nick Weston to stop that momentum.
Hogs defense has been everywhere over the last couple of minutes. Diving in. It looked as if Parrish dove in.
I think, I could be wrong, but I don't know if you're allowed to dive over the ruck like that. He may be bringing it back.
It was Parrish. He picked it up and dove.
Yeah.
Looked as if he dotted it down.
Yeah, I think there's rules against leaving your feet like that over top of the ruck.
The referee talking to some of the players now. This is a big decision.
Yeah, this is what you see with a high-quality ref, letting the guys play, talking through the things that are going to cause him to call penalties instead of just constantly pulling out his card. Looks like there's going to be a put-in for the Hogs. They may have made it away here.
The Hogs send it clear.
Back to Dwayne Parks. Oh,
and Parks misread it, but he's able to pick it back up. What can Dwayne Parks do? Gets taken down to the ground. It has been continuous pressure from the Red Eyes, still turning the wheels, but they have not been able to capitalize in the last couple minutes. Still have not scored in half number 2. They had a double-digit lead against West Palm Beach just a short 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no, no.
But here is Escola on the edge. Ooh, tackled down. Still not able to get in, or the Red Eyes.
Jake Williams doing a fantastic job there.
It is George now. Can the Hogs defense make another stand, or can the Red Eyes finally break through? Parrish makes a wonderful move.
I think he's in.
And he is in. Austin Parrish with his first try of the game, and an all-important try for the Red Eyes to kind of get some momentum back here in half number 2.
Absolutely. I really credit David Sugimoto getting to every ruck, getting the ball out quick, allowing Brock Roper to be that field general. It's really a big difference when you have a scrum half that has the knowledge like that and the chemistry that David has with Brock Roper.
You had a feeling the try was coming. They continued to press and press. They were just jarring at the line, and they were finally able to get it to go. Austin Parrish had a try called back for jumping over the ruck, but this time it'll count. Roper has no problem on the conversion, and it is a 13-point lead for the Red Eyes. We'll step aside. Brevard, 19 minutes away from getting a win over the Hogs.
It's your home. You should know what's happening with it. That's why TrueForce gives you text alerts on permits, materials, and scheduling, so you're always in control of the process. Your roof, your timeline, your peace of mind. Call 352-NEW-ROOF or visit trueforceroofing.com.
Welcome back on in.
Oh,
that's
great
a
job by
wonderful
Nick.
play by Weston. But it is George who comes in and saves possession for the time being. It will be a line out for the Hogs. So the effort by Nick Weston is ultimately rewarded. He has done such a good job creating havoc today. Hogs are going to need an answer. Down by 13.
Yeah, and really what I'm looking for, I'm hoping the Hogs really don't get themselves into that hero ball mentality. They are down 13, but 13 is so achievable. They just need to keep playing within their system. And if the ball bounces a couple more times their way, they're going to be able to cut this lead down.
Here's Roper to Parrish, who just scored the try.
Great work.
Taken down to the ground.
That was Andrew Carter on that tackle. Andrew Carter, actually a TrueForce employee. Their operations manager there. Looks like he's got a little bit of a neck injury. He's been struggling to kind of stay on the field, but been an excellent addition to the team.
Ball was jarred loose, but the Red Eyes still with it. Roper.
Oh, Darian Betts got the ball now.
And this will be coming back. Penalty called against the Hogs. And you would have to think one more try might make this game out of reach for the Hogs.
Well, I see them lining up. I think they're going to go for points here.
And the smart decision based on the score, a 13-point game, that's a 2-score game. You knock this through, and just like that, it is a 3-score game. So a very important kick upcoming here for Brock Roper.
Absolutely. Just to point out a switch here, it looks like Dante J coming off and Jacob Wood coming onto the field. Jacob Wood, very electric offensive player and a very tenacious defender as well. Hopefully gives a spark to this Gainesville Hogs back line with his play. Dante J, a bigger threat himself offensively. Jacob Wood, a little bit more of a facilitator. Maybe you'll see a little more action on the wings.
Here is Brock Roper to make it a 3-score game in the 65th minute of action. Got it. It is a 3-score game. Brock Roper puts in the pen, and the Hogs have their back against the wall even more than they already did. 36-20 the score. We'll hear a quick word from True Force Roofing.
Tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called True Force.
Well, now you can.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
So,
Welcome back on in. 36-20 the score. A 10-0 run by the Red Eyes after the amazing play
For a little chip
by
over here.
Ray Chalk, which cut it to 6. Took a bounce, goes out into touch, and once again, the excellence is shown by Brock Roper.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Brock's done a great job of not giving these kicks too much hang time, but it's been a rough day for the back three for the Gainesville Hogs. We really shouldn't be letting these balls bounce. These are great opportunities if we can catch them in the air and be in the right position for a Ben Nowak, a Zach Wood, Ray Chalk, and even a Sam Dong who's on the bench at the moment to punish these kicks. Instead, the Red Eyes have been capitalizing. Another great line out there.
That is an area where the Hogs have excelled today. McLean.
There's Jacob Wood. Jake Williams doing an excellent job there. You see Cleo Walker went to go make that poach. Jake Williams pulling Jacob down, almost tackling him himself to ensure that he was in better rucking position to not allow the Cleo Walker poach. Really great heads-up play there.
You see a handshake there from McKnight and Allison.
Absolutely.
Allison has been in a couple of battles today.
Yeah, he's a new guy to the team. I think he's kind of learning how to control his emotions here. The beauty of this with these two teams, at least, is regardless of what happens on the field, we're going to be sharing a beverage at the bar afterwards with some fellowship. It's definitely culturally these two teams are very aligned.
Referee having a word.
I see David Sugimoto walking off.
Sugimoto saw the referee tap his head, and it looks like we will have a substitution. It is Nick Ford who will come on in for the Red Eyes.
Looks like they're putting Edwin Escalera at scrum half.
Nick Ford was the guy who saw some minutes in the Holiday Cup, scored a very impressive try as well in one of those 3 matches, which the Red Eyes won all 3 of.
Long time Red Eye player. He's
Roper, fakes it. That's wonderful. Hands it off to Betts.
and Merritt McLean maybe. Oh, not quite in there. Nick Ford with the ruck.
Adriana. Hybrid.
Great tackle by Charlie Slowey.
Possession was lost, and it looks as if
Hybrid
a knock-on
is
was
down.
called, and that is not a good sign if Hybrid is down, one of the
Very slow
most
to get up here.
effective players on this Red Eye squad. The trainer will come on the field to have a look.
Charlie showing some class, coming over and giving some encouragement to Hybrid.
Gets up on his own power,
Yeah, looks like
grabbing at the left knee.
a knee injury. You'll see Dave Williams, well-known doctor in the Melbourne, Florida area, actually helped see me after my Achilles injury.
And Hybrid told Dave, I'm good.
Yeah.
Shook him off and got
He said,
right in the scrum.
Don't look any longer. Don't look any longer. those doctors, you let them talk too much, they'll tell you what you don't want to hear. So it's probably a smart move.
A scrum upcoming here for the Hogs as we approach the 70-minute mark here on Arsenal Productions. Again, want to thank our sponsor, True Force Roofing, for making these streams possible.
Yeah.
We'll be live for every single Gainesville Hogs game this season, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already so you do not miss any Gainesville Hogs action. Here is Jacob Wood. 1 try on the season so far. Has come in mainly as a reserve.
Yeah, Jacob Wood, maybe not the cardio you would like, but I mean, really always makes an impact when he's in. You see another impact player, Ben Rowland, making a great run. Oh, and Hybrid in on that ball. Yeah, it's going to be a not releasing penalty.
And you can see the emotion, and you can see how quick they like to go. Escola steps through the defense and is in. Well, he's a high-octane player.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was the defense into offense, right? It was a play by Hybrid. You saw how pumped they were. But again, where the Red Ice gets you is their quickness. They catch you off guard. They go quick. They don't care if you're ready or not. They now lead by 21. Roper sends it through. And as we hit the 72-minute mark, it is a 23-point lead for the Red Ice. Now, again, what might be confusing about today, and Adam, I'll let you try to explain it to our viewers. While this game matters, at the same time, even though Gainesville most likely is going to lose this game, they could end up being the team that is favored from this due to the events throughout the area. Kind of explain how this north-south kind of tournament is set up.
Yeah, this is the brainchild of Michael Gomez, the VP of club development here in Florida. A little confusing to your average person. Even some of the clubs are having trouble following. But essentially, what you have going on here is a North Division, a South Division. Both of those divisions will get the top 2 teams going to the playoffs. You then have the second sides for the D2 teams. They will get a single playoff spot. And then this weekend is exclusively crossover games. And the division that wins more of these crossover games will get a third team into those playoffs. So though this game may not directly count towards the record, if the more South teams win than North teams, or more North teams win than South teams in these crossover games, you will see an extra spot awarded, which critical for a team like Gainesville that dropped a game early in the season and may need a little bit of help to get into the playoffs this season.
Right, and with the rivalry week at the end of the season, they only have 2 more chances to kind of right the ship to make the playoffs. So it sets up an all-important matchup versus Claymores on next Saturday in Gainesville. We'll be live here on Arsenal Production, so you will not want to miss it, because it's a game that, especially if the rest of the South teams can get a win and, give the South that extra spot, if you're Gainesville, you're really in a must-win scenario to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I believe the key game for us this season is going to be that Jacksonville matchup a little later in the season. I believe it's the 14th of March. That's going to be our key matchup. Claymores had trouble. You potentially might see Claymores not getting enough numbers to properly field a side coming up next weekend. Certainly a game that we feel that the Hogs are going to come out on top. The really tough matchup is going to be that Jacksonville side. Jacksonville has come down from D2 to D3. It's been definitely a team that's given us problems in the past. It'll be very important for, oh boy.
Harris Walker kicks it. Parrish is giving chase.
And
Parrish
Zach
will
Wood.
not be able to get there. Nice job by Zach Wood.
But they are able to take it away. Here is Ford. A chance to knock on the door of 50. Hybrid gets it towards the middle.
Low
Asperilla.
pass. Oh, and David Tsukamoto back in. That's a big boon for the Red Eyes.
Ford gets taken down inside the 5-meter line and now across the line for a try.
There's Derek Asparelli.
Asparelli gets in. It will be a tough conversion, but the Red Eyes are on their way to a possible 50-point performance.
Derek Asparelli, certainly a heart player. Very excited about that try. Coming in and giving a spark from the bench.
So here is Brock Roper to try and extend the lead to 30. In the final moments of this game, again, we will be live next week versus Claymores. Unless they don't field a team,
Unless they
then
don't
we
field
will
a team.
not be live versus
Absolutely.
Claymores.
Yeah, that's some of the reality of Florida rugby, sometimes getting a full team. You get a couple of injuries and it can be tough to get a squad out there.
Roper
Maybe a little
is short.
Yeah.
Score remains 48-20. We'll hear one last word from True Force Roofing.
Tell us, how long have you known?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why don't you explain this, Mark? Found this in your house.
You ignored it, didn't you? I thought I had more time.
Really, Mark? Does this look like you had more time? You know what you should have done, right?
I should have called True Force.
Well, now you can.
Ignoring the signs won't make the problem go away. Call True Force Roofing today.
So, tell us, how long have you known?
Welcome back on in for the final 2 minutes of the Brevard Red Eyes and the Gainesville Hogs. Addison Resco and Adam Mella with you on the call for what has been an exciting game, but a game that has really gone the Red Eyes' way over the last couple minutes. Just 20 minutes ago, it was 26-20 after Ray Chalk intercepted a pass and took it all the way to the house. But it has been a 22-0 run for the Red Eyes since.
Ben Nowak driving. He needs to be careful here that he's able to get the ball down, and he does. Gainesville Hogs flirting. Ball being passed out by Gunny Orr.
Here is Wood.
Oh, what a
Nice
play.
offload.
Not held.
Able to get back up, and here come the Hogs trying to make this score appear nicer than it was. Here's Orr. Had a try last week or at FSU, and he gets his second of the season.
There we go.
Chris Orr is in again.
Yeah, Gunny Orr, an affectionate member of our Boom Squad. Partially from the impact they make on the game, but also partially because of his age. Gunny Orr, gentleman in his 50s, been playing rugby and living on this earth for a long time. Former Marine, willing himself in and doing what he does to get that try.
48-25 the score. And it was last week that Chris Orr got in. Try is good. 48-27 the score, and that is a final score. So the Hogs end on a Chris Orr try, but it is the Brevard Redeyes who are victorious at home with a 48-27 win, a dominant 7-try performance as they outlast the Hogs, who will now need to really be impressive down the stretch if they want to make the playoffs. But again, what's really important is what happened elsewhere today with the North and the South. If the Northern opponents that are normal rivals for the Hogs, they could end up helping them get in the playoffs with some wins today, but all that is to be determined. And now it's all important that Claymores does play them next week because the Hogs need some wins.
Absolutely. So that there will be a forfeit win on the score line if we do not play. But yeah, the Hogs really need to. I think it's all about keeping this momentum. I want to say the Hogs should be very proud of what they put on the field today. They didn't come on top of the scoreline, but they absolutely played their hearts out against a really, really tough Red-Eye squad. And I think they're going to walk away with the Red-Eyes respect and certainly high hopes for what the rest of the season is going to look like. We look forward to that critical game against Jacksonville in a couple of weeks. That's going to be really telling for what the season ends up looking like, I think.
Well, a final score from Cocoa, Florida.
The Redeyes 48, the Hogs 27. On behalf of Jaden Delholm, Adam Bella, I'm Addison Rusco saying so long from Cocoa.